Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't in any way mean to belittle or demean or minimize what you're going through. But the truth is that what you're talking about is why and how is it that Maya has such a hold on me? And, you know, again, that is the whole of the path. It's precisely why we were born. This lifetime is exactly about, for you, it's true for all of us, but I can answer you, figuring out how do I get from here where I know you're doing good work. I know that. It's not like what you're doing is bad. This is why Swamiji put that line in the Festival of Light, something that we read every Sunday here, where he says, Jesus appeared to the great master, Babaji. The lights on the high altar of my church, he said, are growing dim. The high altar, though still lit by lower altars of good works, but the noble taper of inner communion burns low and is ill attended. You know, sometimes we say these lines every week or we hear them every day, and they start just, we don't tune in the way we can tune in. And that is a very meaningful line, because that leap from lower altars of good works, which looks so good, we're serving, we're loving, our family needs us, our work needs us, and you're doing such great work as a therapist in the way that you work. But the truth is, everything, when compared to dedicating this life to God, means to finding that divine within us, the noble taper of inner communion with the Lord, that connection from our heart chakra up to the point between the eyebrows, that energy flowing is what you're calling over here. I see it. How do I bring it here? And it's tricky, of course it's tricky. This is how Maya holds us. Recently, I've been tuned into, in a deeper way than ever, about just how good Maya is at what it does. And I can't remember where I just said this. It might have been at Sunday service last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever I last gave Sunday service. This idea that Maya, listening to Paramahansa Yogananda, who says, Maya, that which pulls us away from knowing the realization of the divine. This is self-realization. It's our whole path. It's what he called it, realizing the higher self. But that which keeps pulling us out and away is also a force, a part of the divine. It's active, it's focused, it's conscious, it's literally coming at us to fool us. Yogananda said this. He said it's really good at what it does because it's so strong. It's a piece. Of course it is. Everything is. Of God himself. I'm going to make this all make more sense to you in a moment. But you're being tugged on, like we all are, by a force that is perfectly good at helping us believe that everything else that we feel we need to do is separate from God, is what we're intended to do, is you can fill in all of those words. So here's what I would say. It is very, very hard as a human being, to leave that which we feel called upon as our responsibilities in the world. If you're a parent, you can't decide not to parent because you want to sit and meditate 8 hours a day, which of course most of us couldn't do anyway. If your spouse is ill, you can't just walk away from that at a certain, that's adharmic. That's not the point. The point is, how do we move closer and closer and closer to knowing? Self-realization is the knowing in every part of body, mind, and soul. Then the definition goes on. But how do we move closer to knowing that it is always God serving God? It's not you with your family. As long as it's you with your family, it's other. If you can practice getting to that place of moving away from I, very hard, and moving away from mother out there, father out there, work out there. But notice every single thing that God is doing through this channel as serving God in the other channel. I promise you it's tricky. It is not easy. For a million different reasons, we get fooled. But it's a practice. And so one does not need to leave that life. You're not going to leave your mother and your siblings and your cousins. You were born into loving them. You were born into a culture where that is so strong, and we all have our stories. So if we can all go through that transformation, where it's not about leaving anything, but about discovering the divine in everything, actually, it's an easier path than trying to turn our backs on that which is our dharma in this life. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to add one sentence because I said it for the whole world to hear before. At Spiritual Renewal Week, you may or may not have seen that talk. But I'm living this so intensely with my partner, who everybody in the Ananda world knows has been so sick. And I'll add a little note of intrigue. For the first time in 3 years, he's getting better. He's getting noticeably better. We never knew what was wrong, and I have no idea why it's moving in this direction. But last night when I was meditating, this thought or inspiration came to me that because for 9 months, every time I look at him, I talk to Master in my mind. Master, you're so grumpy today. Master, would you like to join me for dinner? Master, please turn your music down. Master, can you work on getting the headphones connected to the television so you can listen soundlessly? Master, how about if we go for a little walk right now? Start it with 1 minute of walking. Now, Master and I are walking 15 minutes together every day. It is really hard because Master does get grumpy in that form. He does get mean in certain forms. He does get jealous or demanding. But if it's all Master, we love him so much that honestly, if I was trying to tell you I was there 100% of the time, I'd be lying and you'd know it. But we never make progress if we're not trying. And I feel that joy of serving God more and more. And I wonder, could that be why Barry's getting better? Because he's being realized as something divine. Now, I don't want to just keep that with Barry. None of us would. This is how we need to look at each other every moment. Look, God just walked in this costume of Evelyn or Shankari or Melanie or whoever. God, God.